This is Sudoko Mahabharat. So let's say you don't know how to play Sudoku. If you don't know how to play Sudoku, you could click on the help button, and here you have a help screen. This help screen has a cool little board and it details how Sudoku Mahabharat works, the basics of Sudoku, and all the features you need to be aware of. And we'll go into detail into all these features. So let's go back to settings. Well, you know how the help screen works. Well, these are your different difficulty levels. You have between easy, medium, hard, expert, evil, and even manual mode, which we'll go into later. Well, you also have your mouse-only mode, which forces you to use your mouse the entirety of the game, or a keyboard-only mode, which comes with keyboard instructions, which forces you to do the opposite and use your keyboard the entirety of the game. Well, in keyboard-only mode, you can do all the same functions as you can in mouse-only mode. You could go to easy, you can go to expert, or you could go to both, which is the most preferable version. So let's play a game and see how this Sudoku game actually works and functions. Well, this is the easy board. This is the easy grid. When the user inputs a value, it inputs just like any other Sudoku game. Well, let's say the user inputs a value that's incorrect. That value comes up as red. The user can then undo that value, or the user can redo it and select it and delete it. You also have hints for these easy modes. But if you notice something, the legals are not being deleted. That's because automatic legals are toggled off here. You can toggle them on if you'd like, but they're toggled off, meaning the user must select a cell, select delete legals, delete that legal, deselect delete legals, and then can input a value, because that's one of the extra features for this easy board. The user also cannot use singletons or all singletons. They can only do that in the harder boards. So let's go to the harder boards and see how they work. Let's go to a medium board. Well, in the medium board, you have the show hints and the do hints as well. And here, if you notice, there's hidden singles, which is a feature of my optimization of these hints, which is very helpful in using these hints to solve for the evil boards. Because in the evil boards, you not only have pairs, you have singles, and you also have triples and quads, but you also have these hidden singles, which are very helpful in solving these boards. So when the user selects these values, the user can mostly solve the game. The user also has these two features, singletons and all singletons. When they select singletons, you have the singleton values that are filled in. And all singletons, that's the exact same functionality, but it fills in all the singletons at once. There's no singletons currently, so the user is forced to use show hints and do hints. And they can generally solve the board. And there it is. The game is over. So they can select N for new game or S for settings. They select N for new game, they go to a new game. Let's go to an evil board and see how this really works. So when they go to a new game, they can do all the same functions as all the other boards. They can select a value, and if that value is correct, it'll show up as this. If it's incorrect, it'll show up as red. They can undo that, and they can redo that, and they can undo that again. It's a continuous loop. They can also use their hints, and generally these are hidden singles, and you rarely see you rarely see the triples and quads. And you can generally solve the game. You can toggle the legals on and off, but it's a bit of a tedious process because you generally get to a point where the do hints have no bands to execute on. So when the bands are empty, they can't do anything. So you could select new game to start a new game, or you could just select a different difficulty level. You also have a manual mode here, which is very interesting. Here you have an insert button. In the insert button, you can press the insert button and you can insert some text. You need a minimum of 17 values. So let's say you insert this Sudoko file, which is misspelled purposefully, and if the user selects OK to that file, well, the file inputs and they can play on that file. You have the legals that are created on that file. But let's say the user wants to design their own board. They can do the same thing. They can design their own board and play around with the legals a little bit. You also have this extra feature where the user can print the board value at any point, and it just prints the board value. If they adjust these values and print them, it's the same idea. So here, you have this value, 336, and it's automatically saved to your directory. This is saved in 336, and it's saved as a PDF file. And this allows you to print the board, and you can play it after you print it. You can print that out, and there you go.